Interesting to see. Hey, if you're a new viewer of MLBB Esports and you haven't seen PH gameplay, well, welcome. This is the rematch of our grand finals back home. It's Aurora versus Team Liquid. Will Liquid stampede yet again, or will Aurora blind them?
We'll see if they can rely on that once again. As we take a look at these early rotations, it always starts there. You know, we always have to see how the jungles and even the roams are going to go ahead and play into the early potential. And, you know, not going to be too many things happening, of course, in the side lanes just yet with the nature of these heroes that were built in. But it'll be interesting also to see how Light plays this Cho. Again, he's one of the, I guess, specialists, I would say, for the Cho on that hero. And even early on, when he doesn't have that level 4 ability, that way the dragon, he's actually able to be aggressive enough. And JP also one of them that does that exactly the same. And that's why we always highlight, you know, these teams from the Philippines, especially these two, that, again, for those that didn't catch the regular season of the professional league in the Philippines, Aurora Gaming was just unstoppable in that league and in their run in the regular season. And then, yes, unfortunately, in the grand finals, they got swept against a team at Liquid. So we'll see how those adjustments have been since that time.
Yeah. Those are the emblems. Standard, Festival of Blood, Uranus, the carry, Oheb and Domikite. Usually you see this a lot with Claudes and carries want to aggressively fight each other out, while usually it's the Claude being tested early on because of the damage. Bro, he flickered!
Flicker in on their turret, can't get the last hit! Plot armor, Oheb gets away with literally 1 HP.
Oh man, that's gotta feel bad. You know, you're so close, but again, the carry, you just don't have that range, and both battle spells used up in that too.
Oh man. Well, without the flicker now for Domikite, he probably is not going to find a lot of those aggressive options in lane. Now first turtle is up. JP has the vision, Edward zoning them out.
Uh-oh, Purify out already. Mountain Shocker catches 2. Light is able to go for Jiku No now. That's the diversion. Gets taken out by Yue. Sanji gets in the Throne of Ruin, is able to lock Edward down now as Sanji gets in the yin-yang reactions. It's Sanford walking back up over to Demon Kai 1-1, and it's the mid laners who have the kill, but Aurora got the neutral objective.
A 1-1, a turtle in the hands of Aurora. A great little bit of a skirmish there for that broke out. You know, good thing Yue was able to set up that RWM to get the first blood and take out Carl TZ, but still, Team Liquid is able to at least get something out of that fight to keep themselves obviously pretty much neck and neck right now.
This is the Realme hand cam brought to you by the F7 official gaming phone, Realme 15 Pro 5G. It is Demon Kai that we were looking at again. It is his birthday, so looking to add a win alongside adding another year to his life. Team Liquid, for Yue, I just want to say, great call to commit the real-world manipulation to make sure Carl TZ goes down. Sanji wanted to bring Carl TZ in through the ultimate, but Yue, even though he could have saved that for the bigger fight, he said, nope, the prize is right there. There's a jungler. I'll take him out.
You get a real-world manipulation.
Ooh.
Oh, and they get a diversion too. Okay, so just nothing like, yeah, nothing too crazy. I think this is what we kind of expect with Sanji to use. Sometimes he's just going to go ahead and use it to go ahead and get a little bit of a faster rotation for Carl TZ. And again, nothing too, you're not going to, with these kind of lineups, they're all fighting around the objective. This is not one of those things until that level 4 does come available, which they have now. If Light can get a kick, great. If he can't, then nothing too exciting until that objective fight comes on.
Again, if you're a newer fan, Filipino MLBB, yes, significantly slower, but we would like to use the word methodical, as both teams are just trying to build advantages through the minion waves all throughout, and try to find an opening. Turtle's gonna be up in 8. Oracle already locked in for that Alice, but there is a glowing wand for US Eve.
Okay, so I know we talked about this earlier too, the glowing wand not being like too much of a priority, but obviously with this composition, you need it. You know, you kind of need it against this Hylos. Vitalize that diversion was used
to the purple buff.
To the purple buff instead. They just want to give this up.
Really cool, yeah. I mean, they understand Aurora have the better composition to go for neutral objectives. The fact that they rotated earlier as well means that, hey, they got the tempo advantage. So Team Liquid just go for the trade.
All right, they go for the trade. Potential setup here. JP's going to put some pressure. Glorious Pathways on out defensively, but he's going to want to be doing this from here and there. You know, giving the Oheb that space to go ahead and farm up on this Claude, who needs that time to go ahead and farm up. I think you're still going to see this, though. Like, Oheb and Dominkai, they've been notorious for just duking it out like this.
Yeah.
Blazing Duet going to be used up, but I don't think do they put more pressure here?
Yeah. All just the farm, by the way, right? The Blazing Duet. Great rotation from RORA. And for Team Liquid, again, I really like the creative usage of the diversion so far to get Karl'Tezi into spots that he would usually not be able to find himself.
Yeah. It's really a much lower game for Team Liquid this time around. I believe there's a significant gold lead for Dominkai over Oheb. Oheb looks like he's at around 3,000.
5,000 gold, or 500 gold.
500 gold,
Yeah.
okay, yeah, 500 gold. It looked like 1,000 earlier. If you look at the rankings, there you are. Yeah, Oheb slowly climbing up, but of course with how Dominkai has been able to manage him in the gold lane, this is as expected. While Aurora are playing to their strengths, Team Liquid are playing to theirs as well.
Yeah, very interesting just how, if you think about what Team Liquid is doing, they're playing in a way that's sort of defensive, like they're just playing the macro. They do get a flicker out here from Yue, but this is also just to avoid Light being able to set things up. If you notice, with a Cho, anytime it's picked up, teams want to go ahead and play into that way of the Dragon, set things up the earliest they can. But the way Team Liquid's playing, man, they're not even giving that opportunity. Yeah. We got the crowd behind us just cheering for, you know, the potential for something to happen. But again, it's a defensive way of playing from Team Liquid here.
See that win rate prediction, 52 to 48. It is even. Basically 50-50.
This is what I'm saying. It's around
Yeah. Here, Lord 1, big turnaround, and burn!
Throwing a ruin and flicker as well. Karl'Tezi pops him on a shocker. Yue's gonna be caught. Doesn't have the flicker. Will he be able to pop in the RWM in time? But Sanford was on him. The DOT was taking him down. Now a big appraiser's round on a JP. Sanford still in his withdrawals. Dominkai is able to shred through the horse. Now it's Edward doing the same thing over to the back line. Sanford getting kicked by Light. Blazing Duet from Oheb over the Light. Doman with a double. Cancel out the Blazing Duet. The BMI away. Edward low. Shot down by the GOAT. The diversion now from Oheb to look for a flank, and it's just to go and take the turtle.
I thought they were going to hunt them down.
Yeah, and Team Liquid knew that they had the turtle locked in already. Great patience by Oheb to save his Blazing Duet. Almost got caught off by a chain of crowd controls, but survived in the end. And after that long engage, it's Team Liquid who walks away with the turtle, and even a crab coin there for Karl'Tezi.
It's interesting, though, because no matter what, we're still in the same place, man.
Yeah.
Like, there's no difference here in terms of gold, at least between the teams. But they do go ahead and swap. They put Dominkai up top. That's some good shred here. We're already seeing what's the potential with this carry here on some of these more tankier heroes that TL has. And this is what we're used to seeing, right? When these two teams play it out, generally it's a little bit of a slower build-up until eventually. It's usually that first Lord, perhaps, where things really shift in one of the favors of the teams here. You can see even between the gold lane, now there's 1,000+ gold for Dominkai. He's got nearly that Trinity built up, and that's why we're seeing, you know, him go a little more aggressive, put the pressure there. They want to start to open up the map too, taking that tier 1 turret in the bottom. The trade though, TL will take the top one first.
And Liquid needed to do that. They needed some more map presence, get some more towers done, and they will even it out. That gives them a little bit more opening with their diversion plays going through Sanji's low Yi.
Oh man, getting caught. Has to respect the damage. Like, Team Liquid still have immense damage.
I would say like on both.
Yeah.
Like it's
you like a bird. Karl'Tezi dives Yue in his own lane under turrets.
Before that happened, what I was gonna say is they both have damage. That's just kind of a surprise. Oh, look at this mid lane.
Glorious Pathway zoning them away from the tier 1 in mid, and it is free for TL. They diversion back to get tempo on the map, and it should be another free turret for Team Liquid.
Gold wings through gold wings. They easily opened up the map through Karl'Tezi diving under the tower for just to take Yue out. And now Liquid's map presence is gonna feel so much more smothering now for Aurora Gaming to deal with. However, because they have held the lead for majority of this game, they are still going to be very difficult to go up against with the major objective fights, which is why you see Team Liquid opening up the map more, sending out the YSS and the Claude more to make sure that there are minion waves that they can utilize when they are playing for the Lord Dances.
Now, every team that has played against Sanji's Louis Yi has to worry about this. You know, they have to worry about, now we're in the territory of these Lords. They've already been showing little previews of what they can do on the macro level with the Luoyi, but even the rest of the lineup, you know? And so that's something that Aurora Gaming Philippines is very familiar with, and we'll see them how they approach this. The Lord isn't going to be main focus right now just yet because they know either way, it's better if they continue to go ahead and farm up what they need. They'll get these tier 1s down where they can. That mid turret, at least for Team Liquid here, staying strong at least with a little bit of HP. Aurora Gaming might want to go ahead and take that out to give them that bit of even advantage when it comes to the space around this Lord. But right now, they're just going to go ahead and set up. I don't know if Light wants to, if he wants to go for a kick here, who's he going to kick? You know, like the main point is, even if he's able to get Oheb, got to purify, and he's going to be fine. So you might want to just try to go for Sanji, but then,
and
you know,
Carl.
yeah, that's a huge risk that Light has to take. And, you know, unfortunately, he just doesn't have the immortality right now, so they've got to be very cautious on how they approach it.
Yeah, but based on the damage that Aurora's pumping out, I think it would be okay to kick JP. Force his Revitalize out, you'll be able to bring him down really low. But then the Throne of Ruin the Throne of Ruin is what's going to mess them up. If they do that, they have to be ready and acknowledge that that means the Alice will be punishing them for committing that.
Oh, they see that Oheb's up there, but yeah, the BMI is so quick with that diversion.
Using the diversion with a slow push up top.
Half health here on the Lord. We're going to hold it again, a stalemate right now. Not sure if they're going to push this one. Quarter of the health right now, Floor's pathway.
Yeah, they want to regain control. Light goes in, but it's also Sanford now throwing a ruin already! Sanford to the back line, able to knock him down. Carl jumping in over to the main kite, blazing him doing a lot of damage. Look at the fadeaway damage over on Carl. He's still on it. Demon Kite secures the Lord, but it's TL who run them down. Oheb coming down, diversion as well. Yue taken out by Oheb, and now it's Sanji flickering in to pull Dolmen Kite back.
The birthday buff was not enough. Yes, the Lord was secured, but man, the team was decimated. And again, Team Liquid comes out with a dominant team fight. Now they'll transition to take out some of these turrets. They'll deal with the Lord rather quickly. Again, everybody's still up from this. Edward trying to hold on a little bit longer, but will try to get away.
Oh, through the consecration. No, he gets out. Diversion to the bottom lane. They want to get everything. Lord will not march into their turrets.
Team Liquid will now take considerable control in this game, but Light
fight goes in, able to find the way. The Dragon's throwing a ruin from Sanford again, and the goat gets away. Demon Kite trying to down, the RWM zones them away, but TL want to keep on going. Sanford with blinking forward. Wind of Nature built up by Dome. He gets pulled back by the Yin reaction, but he's able to dash away.
Okay. So, there's still some fight in Aurora Gaming Philippines. You can see that, but this is the struggle right now, and I mentioned it earlier on. It's Light. He goes in for these kicks. He goes in to try to set things up. Unfortunately, as you can see, he doesn't have an immortality just yet. He's got the Athena Shield, the Dom Ice. So when he puts himself in that position, he's most likely going to die. So it has to be worth the kick, worth the setup. And unfortunately, Dolmen Kite just hasn't been able to get to where he wants either. Because we're going to look at the replay here in just a second. Beautiful. One of the things, like I mentioned too, when that Luoyi came through is that interaction to pull back these members when the passive goes off. This is the kick I'm talking about. Light is gone in an instant after the kick, but then in these tighter spaces around the jungle, when you get trapped into that glorious pathway, it's really hard for them to disengage, and it could have gone way worse if Sanji had more of an angle to use that Luoyi there. So. But what we're seeing, yes, there is a 3K gold lead now for Team Liquid, but still, they're also respecting the damage potential that Aurora Gaming can pump out here. So every fight still has to come down to that really perfect placement and positioning on both sides. And we're just going to see that kind of break out for this next Lord here when it's up in about 30.
Yeah, the global BMI again. Bring Oheb all the way back to where the rest of Team Liquid are while being able to apply pressure up top. This is as liquid as you can get with their penchants for wanting to split, open up the map. It's one of their signature. So for TL, it's so easy for them because Aurora Gaming, Light needs to think, if I kick someone, my kick is most likely going to mean I go down and it's not a trade. Because whoever I kick gets away, because the rest of my team need to worry about the later entry of the Claude and the Alice. Then what if you start thinking about, okay, what if we use the Joe defensively? But then who initiates? Uranus that just stands and eats damage?
Yeah,
Oh, no.
Oh, no. Okay, Edward. It is Edward. He's going to take you enough.
Yeah, but he gets vision, he applies some damage, but he doesn't have control. He just looks at them, gathers the info, but not much reward.
Look at Oheb again, the BMI up top, getting the slow push built up as RORA try to force their way into the Lord. Kaltizi, addition damage over to Edward, dashes away from the Void Blast. That's a stun over to Demon Kite now as the French back comes down, and Edward trying to zone him in the back line, but Kaltizi still holding strong with the help of the Traceless. Sanford and JP there, flicker out of the way, they're dragged by Sanford. Demon Kite looking for the opening, will not be able to find it as Kaltizi gets the Lord, and now it's Sanford in the midst of it all. Double kill already for Carl. It's perfect from Team Liquid.
Again, it's so difficult for Aurora Gaming to get into those angles of these objectives and these lords.
Oh! Coming down behind. Light didn't expect that. Has to flicker back in. Sanford just always threatening with the blinks.
There's a reason why this is one of the signature picks of the chef. Sanji on this low E with that in his hands. It feels like your map is so small with how much control they can play for it. But outside of the macro, the micro decision-making, every team fight has been immaculate by Liquid.
Well, here it comes. Lord up top. Team Liquid has their eyes set on the base of Aurora Gaming. We're going to go put some pressure here, walk in with the Lord. How is Aurora Gaming going to respond? This base turret will fall down. Oheb pushing in that mid turret as the wave comes crashing in, but Aurora Gaming will deal with the Lord, so they'll clear out that, but 2 base turrets are now gone. TL with 7,500 gold ahead.
Oh my lord. Lightning duet from Oheb! And the kill over the way to Dragon by Light, but now it's him disintegrated. They fall under the RWM, but it does not matter. Kaltizi on the double, looking for more. He goes for the Traceless. Oheb getting the kill. Edward popping the consecration as Carl buys the immortality. Team Liquid Philippines takes Aurora down.